Okay, so welcome to COVID Conversations. My name is Ken Nosaka. I'm a professor of Edith-Kanwa University. Welcome to joining us today. ECU respectively acknowledge the past and present traditional custodians of this land on which we are meeting today, the Noongar elderly and people. So questions are welcome. I'm going to answer those at the end. Okay. So my talk today is how can we stay physically active at home? Benefits of home-based exercises. First of all, I acknowledge this opportunity, and especially thanks for the Miss Carlis Hines, corporate event coordinator. So when we are planning this talk, WA government declared public health emergency and state of emergency. So because of this situation, we are asked to stay at home. However, this has been changed a lot. This was released yesterday, and then a lot of restrictions has been lifted. Then we have more opportunity for physical activity, exercise, and sports now. This is thanks to government and also health professionals and also everyone in this state. This may not be the case for some of the countries where listeners are, but I hope that situation is getting better soon. So I planned this talk, but actually I have to, I'm going to change a little bit for the title. How can we be physically active at home? I'm trying to convince you the benefit of home-based exercise in next 1 hour. So please stay with me for 1 hour until noon. Okay, so I'm going to start with physical activity, exercise, and sports. They are not the same. They are often used interchangeably. They are different. Normally, physical activity includes exercise and sports. For example, for work, if you are going to work or going to school, that is a more physical activity. If you are doing exercise, walk, like in order to improve your fitness and health, that could be the exercise. And you can do race walk for sports. However, all of these are movements. So movements are created by skeletal muscle, which is the largest organ in your body. It consists of 40 to 50% of the body mass. And then skeletal muscle is the engine for the movement. That is created by muscle action or muscle contractions. In order for the muscle contraction to occur, nervous system, circulatory system, respiratory system, digestive system, skeletal system should work together. So when we are doing movements, that can affect whole body. So how much physical activity is needed for good health? According to WHO, we need 75 minutes vigorous intensity or 150 minutes moderate intensity or a combination of both per week for adults, including older adults. For children, a little bit more. They need to have 60 minutes of physical activity every day. For older adults, they need to do some balancing exercise 3 or more times a week. And then everyone needs to do muscle strengthening activities at least twice per week. However, this is even before COVID-19. Many people are not physically active. According to this statistics in Australia, people who aged 18 to 19, only 19% of the adults aged 18 to 64 did the recommended amount of physical activity strength training. For older one, 70% of the people did not do 30 minutes of moderate or vigorous intensive physical activity at least 5 days each week. For kids, this is just recent paper, 81% of the students worldwide aged 11 to 17 years old were insufficiently physically active in 2016. Actually, in Australia, that is worse. Australian teens do close to the least physical activity in the world. Only 10% of kids are doing sufficient physical activity in a week. So what happened after COVID-19 pandemic. So we are isolated and then work from home and then closure of the exercise and sports facility. Definitely, physical activity, exercise, and sports opportunities decreased. Okay. I did a kind of study by myself. When I'm working from home, my steps in a day, like a 9 to 5 p.m., is only 420 steps in a day. But when I come to university, working on campus, in order to come to my office from parking, I walked a lot and go to toilet. My toilet is really far from my office. I have to walk. And then coffee, lunch, I need to walk. Meeting, lecture, I have to make a lot of steps. And then in a day, about 5,600 steps. So a lot of difference between working home and also working on campus. Then that can reduce my activity about 45%. So this could happen to many people too. This is a Fitbit data, the impact of coronavirus on global activity. A little bit old, this is in March, but a lot of companies show decrease in physical activity. This is for some countries. So some countries, this is January, but from kind of a pandemic, activity decreased a lot. Maybe this is more for April and May. So this is just recent paper in Time. COVID-19 is making Americans even more sedentary. It is interesting that people who are meeting exercise guidelines before the pandemic reported an average 32% reduction in physical activity. And then, so they are stating that now what we are seeing is people who used to be active are not being active. The question is, will they return to their previous level of activity? However, people trying to do exercise at home, this is a ECU Staff and Health and Wellness website. And then they're asking us to put some videos about what we are doing. This is what I'm doing at home. Between work, I try to stand up and then sprinting for 10 seconds, something like that. And also many people are doing some exercise at home. So people may be exercising now more than ever. So let's make it a habit. Why should we be physically active? Definitely, exercise is medicine. There's a lot of evidence showing that prescribing exercise therapy for 26 different chronic diseases, such as psychiatric disease, neurological disease, metabolic disease, cardiovascular disease, pulmonary disease, musculoskeletal disorders, and cancer. So it means that if you don't do exercise enough or physical activity enough, you can have a risk for these diseases. In fact, this article stating that physical inactivity causes a lot of mortality and cancers, other diseases, which you saw in the previous slide, and also sarcopenia. Sarcopenia is a decrease in muscle mass with aging. If muscle mass decreases, muscle function also decreases. This can lead to increase in fatigue and increase in falling risk. Because of this, people may decrease physical activity, then leading to the vicious cycle. More decrease in muscle mass could occur. So this is 25 years old man, this is 65 years old man, a lot of decrease in muscle mass. But this can lead to decrease in physical fitness, decrease in bone mineral density, bone is getting weaker, and the stimulus the brain decreases, and metabolic syndrome increases, insulin resistance increases, and then chronic disease risks also increases. So everything is starting from sarcopenia. So we cannot avoid aging, we all age, but hopefully we can avoid disability. But with aging, disability ratio increases. For example, above 80 years old, 60% of people have some kind of disability, and then 20 to 30% people have severe disability. This is not good because many people can live up more than 80 years old, 80 years now. This slide shows decreases in functional capacity with aging. So functional capacity could mean that aerobic capacity, muscle strength, power, balance, flexibility, agility. So when we have a growth, and then this reach to the peak 20 to 30 years old, that gradually decline in 1 to 2% per year. Even you are doing exercises, that can this decrease could occur. So we need to kind of maintain highest possible level of function as much as possible. However, if injury or disease occurs, this decline will be more rapid. And then if you are staying at the hospital for 1 week without any exercise, it can decrease 1 to 2% per week. So then reaching to the disability threshold earlier, then we cannot enjoy our life, or maybe the quality of life is decreased, unfortunately. So when we are getting old, preventing disability and maintenance independence is most important. So and also, if a lot of people like this area, it could cost a lot to the society. However, good news is that even your fitness or physical function is decreasing, if you are doing exercise, you can improve your fitness, physical capacity, functional capacity, and then maintain for a long time. For example, muscle strength can be increased by 30% in 8 weeks, very short period of time. Then you could maintain this one. So increasing health span is very important. In order to do that, regular exercise is the key. Especially maintaining and improving skeletal muscles is important. In order to do that, resistance training is necessary. And then if you do resistance training, muscle action type matters. So what is muscle action type? There are 3 types of muscle actions. When you are kind of holding a muscle, when force is equal to load, which is called isometric muscle action. If force is greater than load, the muscle can shorten, which is concentric muscle action. Eccentric muscle action is the opposite. Force is smaller than load, then muscle is lengthened. Eccentric exercise mainly consists of eccentric muscle contraction and muscle action. For example, typical eccentric exercise could be sitting to a chair slowly. When you are just kind of holding your body in the middle, that is isometric contraction, and then you are standing up, concentric contraction, but you are sitting to a chair slowly, which is eccentric contraction. In this case, your front thigh muscles are lengthened. Then contracting knee extensor muscles are stretched by greater load, which is body mass, than force. This is a typical exercise. This is eccentric exercise of the knee extensors. So we are performing a lot of eccentric exercises every day, going down slope. And then when you are doing a sit-up, you can just going down slowly, push up, maybe you can go to the floor slowly, something like that. These are eccentric exercises. This is an eccentric exercise by bicycle. So this bicycle, motor is going backwards, then you are resisting the front thigh muscle lengthen each time. However, this machine is like more than $20,000. So it is not possible for you to have this machine in a home. So how we can do the home-based eccentric exercises? As I told you before, maybe you can sit down the chair slowly. This is good eccentric exercise for the knee extensors. And also you can chair sit-up. You can just reclining your body slowly to the chair. This is your abdominal muscle eccentric exercise. So you can do eccentric exercise without any equipment at home. So why eccentric exercise is very good? So this is a study from Japan by Dr. Katsura. And 17 older people are placed in 2 groups. One group did eccentric training, other group did concentric training. In this exercise, they did 4 to 6 basic manual resistance exercise, either focusing on eccentric contraction or concentric contraction, performed once at the community center and at least twice at home. This is important. Not only once at the community center, but also twice at home, at least. per week for 8 weeks. So sitting the chair slowly is kind of eccentric, but standing up with some resistance is concentric. After this exercise, we measured many things. So muscle thickness increased more for the eccentric training than concentric, and this muscle strength improved more for the eccentric than concentric. Chair standing ability also improved better. Agility improved better. And then 2-minute step. How many times you can step in 2 minutes also improved better for the eccentric. Balance improved better. So eccentric exercise training improved muscle function and physical fitness greater than concentric training. That is kind of based for our program called Stay Sharp program. We are doing this program at Perth, Texas South Bowling and Recreation Club in East Perth on Wednesday and Thursday. This is an 8-week program. So we have 1 hour for exercise, including eccentric exercises, and then we have morning tea. After that, we have some cognitive activity. So warm-up exercise and eccentric exercise, sitting that chair slowly, and the cognitive exercises. We are doing that. So if you're interested in this program, you can contact Tina Schwartz. And then we did this program this year, January to March, but we are planning to do the second term, April to June, but because of the COVID-19, we canceled it. We are hoping to do term 3 and term 4 in this year. We are hoping to see many people again. So this is effect of Stay Sharp program. So this is a one-leg stance increase 42%, 30% second chair stand also improved 23%. But people who come to this program is already very fit. So they do not necessarily present general population. For example, their ability to one-leg stand, also 30-second chair stand is already very high before the training program. But still over the 8 weeks, they improved a lot. And then importantly, they came to the community center once a week, but also they did these kind of exercises at home as well. This is the key. And also many people commented that they become easier to move around, stronger, more flexible, better balance, prevented falling, knee pains gone, and also sharp. This is more cognitive function as well. So a lot of benefits from eccentric exercise, home-based eccentric exercise program. This is other study done in Taiwan. So this is a stair walking study. Participants were 30 elderly obese women. So we divided them into 2 groups. One group is ascending stair walking, other group is descending stair walking. For ascending stair walking groups, they went up the stairs and then came back by elevator. And then descending stair walking groups, they came down from the 6th floor to the 1st floor. Then they went back to the 6th floor by elevator. So in this building, there are 5 floors and then 110 stairs. And then we asked them to walk slowly, 1 step per second. So first week, they did 2 reps, 2 repetitions, 1 to 6 or 6 to 1 floor. But last week, they did 24 reps. It took about 60 minutes to complete the exercise. But this is the interval exercise. They walked about 1 minute and 30 to 2 minutes, and then having a rest in the elevator, waiting for elevator, then do it again. So among 60 minutes, they have a resting time for 10 minutes or so. Everybody completed 24 sessions of exercise. Then we saw greater improvement of resting heart rate and blood pressure for the descending stair walking group than ascending stair walking group. And also bone is getting stronger for the descending stair walking group. Muscle strength, chair stand ability, and also 6 minutes walking and balance improved better for the descending than ascending group. And then insulin sensitivity, such as resting glucose, resting insulin, decreased more for the descending training group. And then triglycerides, total cholesterol, LDL cholesterol decreased more, and the good cholesterol increased only for the descending training group. So everything was good. So one negative aspect of eccentric exercise is it could induce soreness. This is called delayed onset muscle soreness, and also prolonged loss of muscle function. However, muscle damage, these are indicator muscle damage, can be minimized by using preconditioning exercise and gradually increasing intensity of volume. So muscle damage is not necessary, not no pain, no gain. So you don't need to get pain after exercise. However, eccentric training have many positive aspects. It's less metabolic demand, like going downstairs much easier, but can increase muscle function, muscle mass, muscle coordination, balance, flexibility, bone mineral density, insulin sensitivity, blood lipid profile, and also cardiovascular function, and also brain health could be improved. So a lot of great aspects for this. So let's get eccentric. You don't need to wear these costumes, but just do eccentric exercises. So sit down slowly, lie down slowly, lower an object slowly. You can do these at home. So this is World Organization message: stay physically active during self-quarantine. So, but maybe not only during self-quarantine, but be physically active every day. So let's go back to the guideline. So we need to do 150 to 300 minutes of exercise. It means maybe 30 minutes a day, maybe for younger one, maybe 60 minutes a day exercise, so physical activity every day. And then we need to be physically active and then do muscle strengthening. Maybe these are very good kind of space for home-based exercises, especially for muscle strengthening. Eccentric exercise is a very good way to do. So we have to be conscious and motivated and intended to do these things. I got these tips from Professor Joanne Dixon, psychology at ECU. So tips: stick with exercise at home. So keeping in mind the desirable outcomes, keeping your focus on the positive outcomes you desire. Set specific goal plans. As with all routines, this is less cognitively demanding than having to make decisions each day to exercise. Reward yourself, linking your exercise plan with a pleasurable activity. Be adaptable and flexible. Being adaptable and flexible will help to readjust or reset your exercise plan when needed. Be kind to yourself. Keep things in perspective and keeping sight of your desired exercise outcome. So these are very important routines. So exercise is good, but many people need more motivation to do exercises. So how to be more physically active? First, increase incidental activities, move more. So if you are kind of walking, maybe you will try to walk a little bit more, but in the house, you can move more. Okay. And then avoid long sitting. So it is not good to sitting more than 30 minutes. So it is better to insert exercise every 30 minutes. You just need to stand up, do some exercises, not long, like 1 minute or 30 seconds even, then sit again. Perform routine exercises at home. Maybe you can make it a habit. And then home-based eccentric exercises would be a very good choice for routine exercise at home. Perform regular exercise outside, walking, swimming, cycling, sports, training, whatever you like. So you need to have some time for regular exercise outside the home. Now we can do this one more, hopefully in the after coronavirus. So physical activities is basically movements, which is muscle contraction. We just need to use larger muscles, not finger muscles, more larger muscles like leg muscles, arm muscles, or trunk muscles, then accumulate movement in a day. So just like saving your money, maybe just a little bit kind of exercise every day, it's kind of a good results for your whole body. So use your large muscles, accumulate movements in a day, which is the key. So there are many home-based exercises. We made a video like aerobic exercises on the chair and also eccentric exercise. You can do some exercise like that. So you can get this link by email later. I hope you can enjoy them or you can try them. And also we made handouts for, this is a exercise on a chair, and also this is eccentric exercises. So you can get handouts, a PDF file of these exercises by email later. I hope you can make the best use of these. So, coronavirus. Okay, so still many people suffering from this one. So I pray for the end of the COVID-19 in the world. But we need to also think about beyond COVID-19. So now many people are thinking about new normal. So a lot of changes occurring now. Changes is a chance as well. So we have to make a change as a chance. So making it a habit to perform exercises every day at home is the new normal. I hope you agree with me. Then it's a good chance for us to do more exercises or physical activities or sports. And then we can do some exercise, home-based exercise, which could be the new normal for everyone. Thank you very much for your attention. I'm happy to answer your questions and comments or suggestions. And then after this, so a link will be made available of the recording. And also you are asked to provide feedback via survey. And you will get ECU YouTube links for the exercise videos. And you will receive 2 home-based exercise handouts. Hopefully you can enjoy them too. Thank you very much for your attention. Okay, so that's all for my lecture. So I'm going to change the screen to see any questions. Right, okay. So far, I don't see any questions. You have, please feel free to type anything, okay? How to motivate yourself when you are not accountable with a trainer? Oh, yeah. Okay, that's a great question. So definitely, I mean, the exercise with somebody who is a specialist is better. I mean, that's why we go to a gym and then we need some personal trainer. But yeah, if you don't have any kind of instructor, you should be the trainer for yourself, okay? So one possible problem with that, I mean, you can like hurt yourself, or you can injure yourself. So maybe it is better to start kind of very easy one first, okay? For example, just walking more, or just in the house, you can just stepping more, okay? Then gradually increase the intensity, the volume. So normally, if you are doing things normally, it does not hurt you so much, okay? Maybe no risk, not so much risk. So I think even without any trainer, you could do a training yourself. You could be your own trainer. So next question, what tips do you have for someone new to exercise? Yeah, this is kind of similar to the previous one. So actually the video, can you see this? Okay, so this video, okay, so I mean, the people behind me is kind of seniors. They are very good, they are fit, but this exercise is not only for seniors. Everybody can do this one. This is kind of easy exercise. Just on the chair, you can just raise your legs, and also you can raise your arms. This could be a very simple exercise to start with. And also, eccentric exercise like this, like that, just sitting to a chair slowly is a very good one. For example, whenever you sit down to a sofa or a chair, you try to sit down slowly. Then that is an exercise already. Or if you are brushing your teeth, maybe you can just stand up with one leg and brushing your teeth. That is also good exercise. So you can do this kind of very simple exercise at home. Maybe this handout, home-based eccentric exercise, some of them are a little bit difficult, but just maybe this kind of abdominal muscle exercise could be very easy. If you can try these exercises, then develop your fitness gradually, then you can move on to the next stage. Okay, so maybe my kind of advice to you is that maybe yeah, you can just start. Maybe first step is the most important. If you can start, then try to gradually, I mean, you can just maybe keep it every day, not long, but short period of time, and then you can gradually increase the volume. And also you can make more variety of it, okay? Any other questions? Okay, so do you recommend using any fitness applications to help your exercise routine? I think yes, there are a lot of nice websites or maybe a lot of applications. I haven't checked all of them, okay? So I don't know exactly what they are, but some of the kind of, when I watched some of the videos on YouTube, some of them are not suitable for everybody, okay? So some of the kind of exercises are more for the very, very fit people, or maybe even for the athletes. So if you are not fit, maybe those exercises may not be very good for you. So you can just choose whatever you can, okay? And then, so application can help, but also that can motivate you a lot. So I think using application is a good way to go, but you need to be really careful what exercise you are going to do. So next one, can you also do yoga, or does that not count? Yeah, yoga is very good exercise. You can improve your balance and flexibility, and also even aerobic capacity. So yoga is a very good exercise. And also some component of yoga is somewhat similar to eccentric exercises. You're just lowering over slowly, which is a kind of a eccentric muscle contraction. So yoga is a very, very good exercise. And the exercise is not only for skeletal muscle and also cardiovascular function, but for the mental things as well. So if you feel very good after yoga, which is great too. So yoga is a good exercise. So I'm not saying that maybe you should be eccentric exercise only. You can do anything, okay? But maybe in a daily activity, if you can include eccentric exercise, for example, whenever you go to toilet, you can sit down slowly, and then that can benefit. You can benefit a lot from that kind of things. So you have shown example of home-based eccentric exercises. For high performance athletes, can you share some eccentric exercise that they can do at home? Okay, yeah, right. So these exercises I showed you was kind of basic ones, but for example, sitting to a chair slowly, like this one. If you can do just one leg, if you're just using one leg, sitting to the chair slowly is not easy. It is not easy even for athletes. So we are doing a study to kind of assess leg muscle function and leg muscle strength by asking them, athletes, to sit down to chair slowly. I mean, actually not chair, they're sitting to the floor slowly with one leg. People who can do it very nicely, smoothly, they have stronger. Then they have less risk for injuries. So maybe we can make this exercise a little bit harder for athletes, maybe sitting to a chair slowly with one leg. And instead of a chair, maybe you can use a floor to lying to the floor slowly. Or maybe lunging exercise and other things. Maybe you can have a little bit kind of jump and then lunge. So we can make these exercises harder for athletes as well. Okay, so next one. Right, okay. In terms of the reducing risk, sorry, I cannot see. Okay, metabolic problem. Could walking downstairs, if done enough, maybe 10 floors or so, replace traditional aerobic? Okay, that's good question. This is a great question. So, so one negative aspect of eccentric exercise, especially going downstairs slowly, is less metabolic demand. If you really want to improve your aerobic capacity, you need to increase your energy consumption, like increase your heart rate, increase energy expenditure. So just going downstairs slowly may not be improving so much for your aerobic capacity per se. However, aerobic capacity is also important to have a very strong muscles. If you have a very strong muscles, aerobic capacity is also greater. For example, we are doing a study for athletes. So people who get very tired toward the end of the match, they have less eccentric strength of the leg muscles. So we have a very strong leg muscles. We can maintain endurance. So developing your muscles, especially leg muscles, is very important. But if you want to improve your aerobic capacity more, I think it is better to go, instead of going downstairs or going downhill slowly, maybe you can go maybe faster, but maybe more better to do a more normal jogging or even like interval training. So in our study, we are also investigating the effect of eccentric cycling on physical fitness. Then in that special training program, we used interval eccentric cycling, very fast eccentric cycling for 1 minute or 2 minutes, then rested for 1 minute, then repeat. So that can increase the heart rate more. So in order to do improve aerobic capacity, it may be better for jogging or maybe fast running. Okay, so in your opinion, what are your thoughts on HIIT? Yeah, so just I talked about that one. So HIIT is very good. So high intensity interval training is very effective way. So maybe if you are a walker, it may be better to walk normally for like 3 minutes. Then you can have a fast walk for like 1 minute, or maybe even 3 minutes, then repeat. Or cycling, some stage you have to go cycling quicker, okay? And yeah, so HIIT is very good. So as I said, in our eccentric cycling training study, we did HIIT. So they cycled for 2 minutes. Other studies, they cycled for 1 minute, kind of very hard, then rested for 1 minute, and then do it again for several sets. So that is more enjoyable, harder, but enjoyable than just continuously cycling for 20 minutes or so. So HIIT is a very good way. And then you can increase your like aerobic capacity as well. So is it still beneficial if the exercise do not get your heart rate up? Yes. Not only, yeah, heart rate is kind of good. That increasing heart rate is important. Yeah. But some exercises, yeah, even just no increase heart rate, it is still beneficial, like going downstairs slowly. So that can develop your muscles, balance, improving your insulin sensitivity, lipid profile. So heart rate is one of the factors we need to consider for exercise training, but not all. So it is not necessary to get your heart rate up always. It depends on the exercise. Yeah, how can lifters continue to train without access to weight? Okay. Yeah, lifters. We can do some just using body weight or some kind of object. Okay, like a pet bottle, or not necessarily that kind of weight, but maybe first using body weight is a very good way to start. But for next level, yeah, we as you know that training in a training overload is very important. We need to progressively increase the intensity and the volume. In order to do that, just using body weight is kind of limitation. So yeah, some limitation at certain level, but maybe we can be creative. So maybe without using weight, maybe we can use other type of resistance, rubber band, or other things. Okay, so we have to be really creative for that. Next one, what is better to train with, lower chairs or higher one? Okay, yeah, so this is, I think this question is from Japan. Yeah, okay, so that's great. Okay, so yeah, if you are using lower chair, that is harder for your leg muscles because you need to kind of increase the range of motion, and then your muscles kind of stretched more, but that is better. So maybe starting from higher chair, then going to lower chair is good. However, it is also very difficult standing up from a very lower chair. So you need a kind of balance, whether you can do like sitting to a chair slowly, and then you can easily stand up, okay? But you are getting very strong, and then you can maybe use lower chair for chair squat exercise. So next one, the eccentric exercise is one of the aerobic exercise, right or not? Yeah, depends. I mean, if you are focusing on more muscle strength, that could be considered to be a resistance exercise. But if you are doing like a downhill walking, downhill running, or eccentric cycling, that could be the aerobic exercise. So eccentric could be either resistance exercise or aerobic exercise or both. Yep. Thank you for a lot of questions. So next one, you mentioned motivation and intention are important. Yes. Have you assessed changes in the motivation and intention to the exercise as a part of your program? Yeah, no. I mean, so far, no. So this is the problem. Okay, so whenever we recruit participants for our study, generally speaking, they are already motivated. So they continue to do that kind of exercise or training for a certain period of time. However, I had the opportunity to work with kind of people in aged care facility. And then, yeah, some of the people, not everyone, some of the people are not kind of motivated so much. So during the program, I lost one person, and 2 people, and yeah, so I lost some people. So yeah, definitely this is an area which we have to investigate more. So I'm a more kind of exercise physiology. So in the physiological studies, we tend to ignore psychological aspects. But in order for the exercise to be kind of a regular routine, psychological part is more important, I think. So, but once we are getting used to the kind of training, so if we make it a habit, then definitely we want to continue it. Okay, so maybe first 1 week we feel like we don't want to do exercise every day, but once we pass that stage, then maybe without exercise, maybe some people feel uncomfortable. So we need to reach that stage in a way. So next one, according to the last question, was it hard to cultivate eccentric type of training to the community? Please advise on how you would tackle and encourage your client. Okay, yeah, right. So in order to get the people to a community program, it's very tough. So we advertise in the newspaper, other things, and then people, actually the registered for the club is not huge. So normally like 30 people registered. Yeah, we want to get more people, but not possible. And also kind of like staff is limited. So even though we are asked to go to different places, we cannot do. So maybe we need to have more instructors who can instruct eccentric training for any people. So we are planning that. So that is kind of our plan. So, but I mean, without any kind of instructors or maybe a program, you can start using this video. So this video, especially the eccentric one, this is kind of easy to follow. Hopefully you can paste what eccentric exercises are. And also this handout can explain fat eccentric exercise up. So maybe you can start from there, then just go back to this one. So if you are interested in a Stay Sharp program, so just contact Tina, and then please join us. Hopefully, we can do the program for term 3 or term 4 or both in this year. This can continue in the next year too. So I think any exercise, maybe first time it is better to learn how to do it accurately. Then you can do it anywhere, even at home. So that is what we are trying to achieve. So yeah, so I think this is the last question. So I hope that you enjoy this webinar. But I mean, if you have any question, maybe you can contact me again anytime. Okay. So I hope that yes, we are having very difficult time, especially for the some of the country, still very hard situation. So hopefully the situation is getting better. Okay, so then in order for us to stay fit and healthy, exercise is important. So please be physically active. Thank you very much for listening. Thank you. Bye.